Black to move. So we're down 2 pawns, so we probably need something pretty substantial. I'm thinking about taking here, because if he takes here, we have this fork. So that's the first move that comes to mind. Now if he takes my knight, I then have check, and then there should be a mate. Well, maybe not. So knight g3, king h1. Sorry. What am I talking about? Knight takes g3, h takes g3, and then queen e3. Check, and then king h1. I'm going to do it without the arrows. So knight takes g3, h takes g3, queen e3, check, king h1. No. Knight takes g3, h takes g3. Yeah, queen e3, check, king h1. Oh man, it ends short for me there though. Oh wait, can I then just go queen f2? That may not work. I'm going to try a different move order. Let's try queen e3 first. He can't block with the bishop because then it's mate. So queen e3 and then king h1 immediately. It's forced. And then looking for a smothered. I forgot to minimize chat, by the way. No one said anything yet, but chat is now minimized. Yeah, so queen e3, king h1. What if I... Well, might as well... I mean, that doesn't seem to work, but yeah, I mean, the only follow-up seems to be knight f2. And then bishop takes f2. Oh, and then, yeah, no, I see. And the thing is, I can never go queen e4 check, because he always has just bishop f3. And so queen e3, king h1, knight f2, bishop f2. And if we go queen f2, then there's many moves like... Oh, wait. What did he do after queen f2? I thought he could go bishop f1. But that actually... Oh yeah, he can go bishop f1. No, he can't go bishop f1. I just take it. Bishop takes f1. So that line might work. Queen e3, king h1, knight f2 check, bishop takes f2, queen takes f2. I'm threatening mate. If he plays bishop f1, I just go bishop takes f1. And if he doesn't play bishop f1, if he plays bishop f3, I guess bishop f3 is the problem. So queen e3, king h1, knight f2, bishop f2, queen f2, bishop f3. That's the problem. No. Huh. What the heck could this be? Oh, what about instead of knight g3, we go knight c3? Knight c3. So what would he do about that? Let's say he goes king f2. I just take the queen. So he's got to move the queen. And because he's got no check. So he's got to move the queen. So knight c3. Well, he doesn't have many options. This has to be the answer. But knight c3, queen e1. If queen e1, I just take the bishop on e2. And if I go knight c3, queen... Yeah, it's knight c3. Wow, I should have come to that idea sooner. And I'll try to figure how I could have done that. But it's got to be knight c3. I'm going with knight c3. Oh my god, that hurt so much. Minus 13 points. I'm opening up chat. I really thought I had it. Oh my god. I was so confident. I was so confident. Case money's wrong as well. Let's see what the answer was. I was so confident about that. So knight c3. This is only equal. This is only equal. I just assumed that this would be winning. So like king e3 amongst many other moves, or even just b5. And this is apparently just equal. And then his king can come in, boot out our knight, and he's got too many pawns. So this is, I mean, it's giving a slight advantage to black, but probably it's a draw. So I really thought I had that one. So the correct answer is queen e3 check. How on earth does this work? King h1. Oh my god, and then knight c3. Oh gosh. I should have got that. Hello, Mr. Food Lover. I got food in front of me. Man, that sucks. I should have gotten this one. I should have figured out. Then knight c3. So, what to learn from this? First of all, as I kept looking at, oh no, here, first move. I kept looking at queen e3. I kept looking at knight g3. They just didn't seem to work, and they don't work. Eventually, I found knight c3. And now, even though knight c3 is wrong, I should have found it earlier. Because once, you know, this was the very first thing I looked at immediately. And the same idea can go here. Now, we're not taking up a piece, but I still should have inverted my idea. And then at the end, I should have just, I got it slightly excited, but I really thought this worked. But it's just equal. But I could have mixed it with the other idea and then knight c3. That's a nice puzzle. Well, I have to make up 13 points there. I'm going to minimize chat. Do another one. Black to move. We're in check. So we only have two options. We only have two. Now, if we take with the king, he can trade queens. Or maybe not. I've got f5. So let's look at this first, I guess. No, but then this check, right? Oh, wait. What am I talking about? He just takes my queen. So I have to take with a queen, right? Because otherwise he just takes my queen. Oh, wait, you can't. He's pinned. Okay, learning about the position here. But this still looks wrong for me. Check, and then, I don't know, maybe I can get away with it with f5. Maybe I do take with the king. Could he do anything crazy like this? I don't think so. Maybe he can, because then I can't play f5 anymore. King takes g4. Queen check. Oh, no, no. Not if he does it that way. Yeah, so what if he goes, what if he takes with the rook immediately? I think I have to take it with a pawn. And if I take it with a pawn and then he gives me another check, see, that is a problem. That might be the problem. Rook takes g6. If I take it with a king, rook takes g6. How do you deal with that? You know, because if I move the king, he's just going to check me and take my queen. And if I go over to the h file, I guess maybe I could go to h5. So boom, boom, king h5. Oh no, he's still covering it. He can still just go check. And then after that takes. I should be losing there. So yeah, if I go king g4, rook g6, I have to take with a pawn. I'm going to sneeze first. I'm going to sneeze, watch out. Excuse me. And the problem with this is if I take with the h pawn, I'm scared of queen d7 check. Never mind, I guess I'm still okay after f5. Because his rook is gone. So I guess I'm still okay there. Maybe it matters what pawn I do it though. Boom, boom. Because if I take with the c pawn, then this check kills me. So we have to take with the h pawn. So king g4, rook takes g6, h takes g6. So that after queen d7, I can go f5. That's looking good. And if I take with the queen, which I haven't calculated yet, but I just assumed that I couldn't take with the queen. Maybe I can. But I'm guessing check, and then this is forced. And maybe there's got to be a reason I can't do this. Has to start with this check. So this is all forced. I'll do it without the arrows, now that you can follow me. Excuse me. So queen g4, queen d7, king g5. I mean, he could probably even just trade queens at that point. Then queen takes, king takes, and it's equal material. So I think we take with the king. This is too much pressure for him. I'm going to take with the king and then just take with the h pawn. So he gives this check. I thought rook would have been a better defense. And I just go, oh, I guess he can still take on g6. So if I go f5, rook takes g6. No, it's still going to work. Yeah. And then be safe here. And I guess we go back to g4. Only legal move. Okay, opening up chat. So I kind of like that puzzle, but I wish they would have gone with the best line, because it's, I mean, so many people are going to randomly get this one correct, and because they didn't see rook g6, you know. So I wish they would have followed up. I wish the puzzle would follow up with rook g6 here. Okay, so I've made back 5 points out of the 13 I lost. Let's see if we can keep going here. I'm going to minimize chat and do another one. Black to move. Okay, so we're down a piece. We're down, what are we down? More than a piece. We're down a rook and a minor piece. Yeah, so we're down a knight and a rook. Equal pawns, but we're down a knight and a rook. So we need something. We basically need a checkmate or to win the queen. We need something major. Well, let's look at forcing lines first. We really only have one. Although we also have a bishop, but let's look at this check. He has to go king b2. And then, I mean, this is a good line to start with. I presume we take his knight, because nothing else, I mean, nothing else is reasonable. So we would take, check. I'll do it without the arrows. So queen e1, king b1, queen takes d2, check. He has one legal move, which is king b1. We're still down a rook at this point. So again, queen e1, king g2, sorry, queen e1, king b2, queen takes d2 check, king b1. It's all forced. And then the killer blow, I think we play bishop a4. Because if he goes, oh no, because queen takes a4 is a check, unfortunately. Queen e1, king b2, queen takes d2, king b1. I'm one move away from mate. Unless I start with castles. Let's say I start with castles and then he plays like knight f3. Well, that doesn't work. Wait a second. Maybe I can just take on g2 at the end of that. He gets my knight, and then I get his rook. But yeah, maybe I could go queen, queen e2, king b2, queen d2, king b1, and then I go queen g2. I guess I just see a move. Oh my God, I'm so blind. Oh wait, never mind. Just looking at the beginning again. So queen e1, king b2, queen d2, king b1. I'm gonna go with so starting. It just has to be. I mean, it's got to be this to start. Okay, so at least I was pretty confident about this, but then the follow up is where things get tricky. I was thinking about repeating. I considered that because his knight is now gone. But then that's when they had the idea of just going after this. But the problem with going after this is he just takes my knight, I take his rook, and at the end of the day, I'm still down a piece. But yeah, I could technically repeat. There's also this. Oh, this is what I was looking at before, and then I forgot about it. So I was looking at this. I had this idea, and then I lost the idea. But I could re-examine this, because this is mate. That is the idea I had before. So if he plays knight f3, I win the queen. I think that's too bad. I did have this idea and then I forgot about it. So yeah, looks good. Knight d1. Knight d1 looks good. Oh wait, and if he goes rook a2, this is check. Oh, but then he's got king a1. But then his queen will fall. So I don't know how he stops this. I don't know how he stops me from going to c3. Knight d2? Maybe, or knight e2, maybe knight e2? Oh, knight e2. Knight d1, knight e2. Oh, man. Don't tell me that works. That was so close to working. I was just about to think of another way to get here. And this almost looked good, but he can just take with the bishop. I was hoping he would take this way and then we have this checkmate almost. Yeah, so Knight d1 seemed to be refuted by knight e2. I don't get it. Holy moly, holy moly. I mean, maybe I can play a slow move like bishop b5, preventing knight e2, and also threatening. Oh, this is actually looking good. Yeah, bishop b5. This is mate to winning the queen. So bishop b5 is suddenly looking good. Yeah, that looks good. So if he plays rook a2, I guess I just continue with this check. Oh yeah, this seems to be the idea, putting the bishop on d3. That is tricky. That's got to be the idea. If he attacks here, he attacks my queen. But again, this check is immediate. So it's got to be bishop b5. Yes. And I didn't see this, honestly, but this is still the same idea. And he just gives up the queen and we take. Okay, opening up chat. Oh, that was tough. That was a tough one. Okay, looks like Mr. Food Lover got it. There we go. Ooh, king and pawn. Nice. But I'm scared what it's going to be like at this level. So first of all, I'm really unsure about Zugzwang, because even if white was in Zugzwang and he pushes here, I don't even think this is necessarily good for us. So this is going to be very tough. Although, if I do get the pawn here, these are pants, except there's a pawn on g2, so that doesn't help. So this, I'm going to have to just calculate. I can't use... Yeah, this looks ridiculous. This looks so freaking difficult. I guess we're going to try to just make A the passer. And he can't go after this pawn because he'll be too slow, I feel. And if he defends, then I can just abandon my pawn and have an OPP. So maybe we do just go king b4. I mean, that does look the most natural. He goes king e4. I grab. He grabs. I grab. And he might come back to d4. But then I can move ahead. That's fine. That is fine. So boom, 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 boom. I'll do it without the arrows. I have a student who saw me do arrows and he's like, you told me not to do arrows. I do it because I'm streaming. But anyways, yeah, so king b4, king b4, king e4. I don't know. That just seems winning to me. And I don't see how it could be anything else. It's got to be king b4. And we have to take. I don't see how it could be anything else. Okay, so now we evaluate. So if I take on b5, and then he takes, I have to take. Now we have something to worry about. So that could be a problem, right? Okay, I won't do the arrows, but king b5, g takes h5, and then g takes h5, and then king, oh wait, no, he can't go king f5. He'll be too slow. Because I can also run that pawn. So I do think I just take his pawn here. The b5 pawn. The question is, why is h takes not winning as well? Because king takes b5. Sorry, I mean, because h takes g4 seems to be winning. But you know, the problem is that, no, this is definitely wrong, because he can then take on e5. Yeah, and he might even be able to, in time, to support his h-pawn, and if not, I think his king come back. Yeah, but it's got to be taking here first. I feel bad for getting that. Okay, so taking a look at this one again. So okay, so if I had taken the pawn, g takes h5 wins for white. Ah, g4, 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 g4. How did I miss that? Shame on me. Yeah, okay, so I guess I had to have took here. And then do I take the pawn? I guess. But this is still not so clear. I guess it is pretty clear. You know what? There's no reason I should have got that wrong. Like, shame on me. Someone needs to slap me, because that is embarrassing, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Okay, I'm going to do another one, because that was pathetic. Here we go. I'm going to minimize chat. Okay, so I didn't deserve those points. So let's look at forcing moves first. Check. Check. Mate. I got it. That's got to be it. Check. Knight e4. That's it. That's the answer. Oh wait, he can escape to g2. But I mean, if he goes back to e1, then this is just mate. Okay, so I'll do it without the arrows. So bishop f2, king f2, knight e4. And king g2 is forced. And then queen h. Yeah, that's mate. That's mate. Nice. Opening up chat. Well, wow, really hit and miss. So on these puzzles today. I mean, that one was pretty easy, to be fair, but still. The target time is 30 seconds. It took me a minute. I had to verify, though. Okay, so we got a few points back. I'm going to do another one and minimize chat and hope I get another easy one like that. We have no queen. We're down at full queen and a pawn. So we're down to a queen and a pawn. I want to take a look at a4 because that is somewhat forcing. He's got two moves. If he takes the pawn, yes, I don't know. What do I do if he takes the pawn? I mean, we have to give checkmate here. Actually, there's also knight a1. Maybe I look at knight a1. Knight a1, he has two moves. Let's look at king c4 first. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this better. So I go bishop a2 check. Yeah, I like knight a1 better because, okay, so knight a1, king c4, bishop a2. He has to go king b5, and there's got to be a mate there. Even just rook d6 is it's not quite mate, but it's got to be. After that, he goes king a5. And then I think bishop b3 is mate. I think so. Okay, that seems to work. Knight a1, king c4, bishop a2 seems to work. And so if I go knight a1, king a4, probably bishop c2. Bishop c2, he goes king b5. And again, that's going to be mate. So that has to be correct. Check. He goes this way. Check. 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 I got it. Opening up chat. Woohoo! Good. 5 points. So what? I'm back up to, I forget if this is my new rating or is it after the +5? Like, am I 3032 or am I 3028? Does anyone know? I guess I'll check. I'll go to my profile. 3028. So it is. So it is just this number, which means I still need to break 3037. Okay. I'm going to minimize chat and do another one. Here we go. Black to move. So there's a hanging rook or discovery. We're down the exchange. So why don't I just pick up that rook? I mean, I think we do. The question is, what's the best way to do it? What's the best discovery? Well, probably it has to be a check, so we only have two moves. Let's take a look at knight f3 first. So knight f3, if he goes king h, no, okay, so he has to take, because knight f3, he literally has to take, otherwise it's mate. So knight f3, g takes f3, and then if I give a check, so knight f3, g takes f3, queen d1 check. I'm trying to get something going there. So we'll say king g2. I don't see the follow-up after king g2. Okay, so we'll look at knight e2, which is the most natural. He has to go Well, he could either go, I mean, probably he has to go to h2. Otherwise, yeah, he has to go to h2. No, it's mate though, either way. It's mate on g1. So they gave me an easy one. But yeah, it's just mate. Oh, no, it's not mate. I forgot about this. Sorry. Shit. But it's still a mate. Like, I don't know what he does to stop the mate. Like, he can go check, but maybe he can escape it. Actually. Actually, knight g4 looks winning. I think it's knight g4. Because then it's just mate. It's got to be knight g4. There we go. Okay, opening up chat. So I feel, I mean, I forgot to calculate king h2. But it doesn't quite matter because king h1 would have been a forced win. So it had to be, I mean, king h2 had to be bad for him. Yeah, and then we have this, I forget what this is called, this type of mate with a knight. It has a name. It does have a name. Okay, we got 5 points there. We're doing pretty well. I'm chiseling out a few points at a time.